Welcome to English Buddhism. Every Buddha story carries a lesson. Every teaching holds the power to awaken the soul. If today's wisdom touches your heart, don't let it stop here. Like to spread kindness, share to inspire others, comment your reflections, and subscribe with the bell to continue this journey of enlightenment together. Session 1. The importance of patience in understanding character. Introduction. In our interactions with others, we often form immediate opinions about their character based on brief encounters. Body language, speech, or even the way they handle minor situations. However, Buddhism teaches that character assessment should never be rushed. A person's true nature is something that reveals itself over time, requiring patience and mindful observation. The teachings of the Buddha emphasize that wisdom, integrity, patience, and trustworthiness cannot be judged through superficial interactions but rather through deep engagement and prolonged experience. Why we judge quickly. Human nature is predisposed to making snap judgments. Psychologically, our minds are wired to categorize people quickly based on available cues. This is a survival mechanism that helped early humans assess threats in their environment. However, in today's world, this mechanism often leads to misjudgments, misunderstandings, and misinterpretations. The Buddha's teachings caution against forming hasty conclusions about others, as they are often based on incomplete or misleading information. Superficial judgments are misleading. It is easy to assume that a person is kind, honest, or ethical based on their outward demeanor. But such perceptions are often misleading. Someone who appears charming and well-spoken may lack integrity, while someone who is quiet and reserved may possess deep wisdom and moral strength. The Buddha reminds us that the surface does not always reflect the depth of a person's true character. Understanding character through time and experience. Buddhism teaches that true understanding of character comes with time. The Buddha states that only after prolonged interaction, particularly in situations that reveal one's virtues, can we judge a person accurately. This is particularly true when assessing attributes such as trustworthiness, honesty, and resilience. 1. Virtue is revealed over time. According to the Buddha, a person's moral and ethical values can only be fully understood after observing them over a long period. Momentary actions may not reflect their true nature. Consistency in behavior, particularly in challenging situations, is a strong indicator of a person's virtue. 2. Integrity and trustworthiness require close observation. A person's integrity, whether they are honest and loyal, can only be determined through repeated interactions and shared experiences. Business dealings, friendships, and collaborative efforts all provide insight into a person's reliability and ethical stance. 3. Challenges reveal true strength. Adversity is a true test of character. Many people maintain a composed and positive demeanor in easy circumstances, but when faced with difficulties, their true nature emerges. The Buddha teaches that patience, resilience, and inner strength can only be gauged in times of hardship. Why quick judgments lead to misunderstandings? Because humans are complex beings with layers of emotions, experiences, and struggles, it is unfair and often incorrect to judge them quickly. A reserved person may be mistaken for being cold or indifferent when they are simply cautious. Similarly, an outgoing and friendly individual may not necessarily be genuine. Without prolonged exposure to their true behavior, one cannot assess their character accurately. Buddha's teachings on human complexity. The Buddha emphasized that human nature is more intricate than it appears. Unlike animals that openly express their strengths and weaknesses, humans are adept at concealing their flaws. This makes it difficult to determine a person's true qualities through superficial interactions alone. Thus, patience is crucial when assessing someone's character. 1. People hide their weaknesses, unlike animals, which display their vulnerabilities openly. Humans often go to great lengths to mask their flaws. The Buddha stated that it is natural for individuals to conceal their shortcomings, which is why understanding them fully requires time. 2. People evolve over time. Someone who appears untrustworthy at first may grow into a person of integrity, just as someone who seems righteous initially may later reveal weaknesses. Character is dynamic, changing with experiences, circumstances, and personal growth. 3. Actions can be deceptive. A single action or mistake does not define a person's entire character. Buddhism teaches that judging someone solely based on one event is unfair. Instead, repeated behavior patterns should be observed before drawing conclusions. The role of wisdom in judgment. The Buddha emphasized that only a wise person can judge another's character correctly. Wisdom is needed to discern whether a person's actions align with their true nature. This wisdom comes from deep engagement, careful attention, and a commitment to understanding others beyond surface appearances. 1. Engage in meaningful conversations. To judge a person's wisdom and intellect, it is necessary to engage in deep conversations with them. Superficial discussions will not reveal much about their inner thoughts, beliefs, and knowledge. 2. Observe without bias. Wisdom entails observing without preconceived notions. When we approach people with biases, our ability to assess them fairly is compromised. 3. Practice mindfulness. Buddhism encourages mindfulness as a tool for understanding people. By being present and fully engaged in interactions, we can better perceive the subtleties of their character. Applying these teachings in daily life. 1. Be patient in assessing others, rather than making quick assumptions. Give people time to reveal their true selves through actions and consistent behavior. 2. Pay attention to repeated behavior patterns. A one-time event should not define a person's entire character. Instead, focus on how they behave over time. 3. Engage in deep and meaningful conversations. To understand a person's intellect and wisdom, discuss meaningful topics that provide insight into their thinking. 4. Avoid forming judgments based on rumors or first impressions. People are often more than what they appear to be. Give them a fair chance to demonstrate their true nature. 5. Recognize that people change. Just as you have evolved over time, so do others. Be open to the possibility that someone may grow into a better person. Conclusion. Buddhism provides a profound approach to understanding character. The key lesson from the Buddha's teachings is that true character cannot be judged in a short time. It requires patience, deep engagement, and wisdom. By being mindful and allowing time for people to reveal themselves, we can make fairer, more compassionate judgments about those around us. Through understanding rather than quick judgment, we build stronger, more meaningful relationships and create a more harmonious world. By integrating these lessons into our lives, we learn not only to judge others wisely but also to cultivate patience and wisdom within ourselves. Session 2. Understanding integrity and trustworthiness. Introduction. Integrity and trustworthiness are fundamental qualities that define a person's character. However, these attributes are not always evident at first glance. The Buddha taught that assessing a person's reliability and honesty requires close observation and long-term experience. In this session, we will explore how to discern genuine integrity in individuals and how trust is built over time. The role of integrity in human relationships. Integrity is the foundation of strong relationships, both personal and professional. It encompasses honesty, reliability, and ethical conduct. The Buddha emphasized that true integrity is demonstrated through actions rather than words. While someone may claim to be honest, their behavior in difficult situations is the real indicator of their trustworthiness. Integrity is not just about telling the truth, it is about being consistent in one's values, words, and actions. A person with true integrity will not compromise their morals for personal gain. In contrast, those who lack integrity may manipulate, deceive, or shift their behavior depending on the circumstances. Observing integrity over time, the Buddha advised that integrity can only be truly known after prolonged interaction. This means that casual interactions or first impressions are not sufficient indicators of a person's trustworthiness. Instead, we must pay close attention to how they behave in different situations and whether their actions align with their words. 1. Consistency in behavior. A trustworthy person remains consistent in their actions, regardless of the circumstances. If someone is honest only when it is convenient but bends the truth when under pressure, their integrity is questionable. 2. Actions speak louder than words. A person who frequently makes promises but fails to fulfill them is not as trustworthy as someone who follows through on their commitments. The Buddha taught that trust is built through reliability and keeping one's word. 3. How they treat others. Integrity is also reflected in how a person treats those who have no power over them. Someone who is respectful and honest with subordinates, employees, or service workers is likely to have genuine integrity. 4. Honesty in adversity. The true test of integrity comes in difficult situations. When faced with hardship, does the person remain truthful and ethical, or do they resort to dishonesty to protect themselves? 5. Financial and professional dealings. One of the clearest signs of integrity is how a person handles financial or business matters. Ethical decisions in business, fair dealings, and transparent transactions all point to a trustworthy individual. Building trust in relationships. Trust is not something that can be demanded, it is earned through consistent actions over time. The Buddha taught that trust should be given wisely, based on a person's demonstrated behavior rather than blind faith. 1. Give time to assess character. Just as integrity is revealed over time, trust should also be granted gradually. Rushing to trust someone without sufficient evidence of their reliability can lead to disappointment or betrayal. 2. Communicate openly and honestly. Trust is strengthened through open communication. Misunderstandings often arise when people are not honest about their thoughts and feelings. The Buddha emphasized the importance of right speech, speaking truthfully and kindly. 3. Observe how they handle conflict. Conflict reveals a great deal about a person's integrity. Do they handle disagreements with honesty and fairness, or do they resort to manipulation and deceit? A person of integrity will approach conflicts with an open mind and a commitment to resolution rather than deceit. 4. See how they treat their commitments. If someone frequently makes promises and fails to keep them, it is a red flag. The Buddha's teachings highlight the importance of following through on commitments as a sign of trustworthiness. 5. Recognize their willingness to admit mistakes. A person with integrity does not pretend to be infallible. Instead, they acknowledge their mistakes, learn from them, and make amends when necessary. This honesty fosters trust and strengthens relationships. The impact of integrity on society. The importance of integrity extends beyond personal relationships. It plays a vital role in creating a just and fair society. The Buddha's teachings suggest that a community built on trust and ethical behavior is stronger and more harmonious. 1. Leaders with integrity inspire confidence. Whether in politics, business, or community leadership, those with integrity earn the respect and trust of the people they serve. A society led by honest individuals thrives, while corruption leads to disorder and suffering. 2. Workplaces function better with trust. Companies that prioritize integrity in their leadership and corporate culture create healthier work environments. Employees are more engaged, productive, and loyal when they feel they can trust their employers. 3. Communities grow stronger when people are trustworthy. A society where individuals treat each other with honesty and fairness fosters unity and cooperation. The Buddha encouraged individuals to act with integrity, knowing that their ethical conduct benefits everyone around them. 4. Integrity promotes long-term success, while dishonesty may bring short-term gains. True success is built on a foundation of trust and reliability. Ethical businesses and relationships stand the test of time, while those based on deceit eventually collapse. How to cultivate integrity within ourselves. Rather than focusing solely on judging the integrity of others, the Buddha encouraged self-reflection. Before questioning someone else's trustworthiness, we should strive to embody integrity in our own lives. 1. Practice honesty in all situations, whether in personal or professional life. Commit to telling the truth, even when it is difficult. Small lies erode trust over time, while honesty strengthens it. 2. Align actions with values. Ensure that your actions reflect the morals and principles you claim to hold. Avoid hypocrisy by living in accordance with your values. 3. Admit and correct mistakes. No one is perfect, but integrity means taking responsibility for mistakes and making efforts to correct them rather than shifting blame. 4. Keep promises and commitments. Be reliable in fulfilling obligations, no matter how small. If you commit to something, follow through. 5. Surround yourself with people of integrity. The company you keep influences your own behavior. Surrounding yourself with ethical individuals encourages accountability and strengthens your own moral compass. Conclusion. Integrity and trustworthiness are not qualities that can be assessed quickly or superficially. As the Buddha taught, they are revealed over time through consistent actions and ethical conduct. By observing how individuals handle commitments, conflicts, and challenges, we can discern their true character. More importantly, by cultivating integrity within ourselves, we contribute to a more honest, trustworthy, and harmonious world. The next session will explore another essential aspect of judging character through wisdom and deep conversation, as emphasized in Buddhist teachings. Session 3. Understanding wisdom through conversation. In our journey to assess a person's character, wisdom stands as one of the most profound indicators of their depth, intellect, and sincerity. According to Buddhist teachings, wisdom is not something that can be immediately perceived. It requires time, attention, and deep engagement through meaningful conversations. The Buddha emphasized that true wisdom is revealed not through a person's outward knowledge or eloquence but through their ability to comprehend life, respond thoughtfully, and approach challenges with clarity and understanding. The role of conversation in assessing wisdom. Engaging in conversations with others allows us to understand their thought processes, values, and perspectives. A wise person is not necessarily the one who speaks the most or uses the most complex language, but rather the one who demonstrates insight, patience, and depth in their words. The Buddha stated that wisdom is understood through dialogue, but only after prolonged engagement, careful attention, and discernment by a person who is also wise. This means that we must engage actively and wisely when seeking to understand someone's wisdom. 1. Thoughtfulness in responses. A person who takes time to reflect before speaking often indicates a depth of wisdom. They do not respond impulsively but instead consider the impact of their words and the perspectives of others. 2. Depth of understanding. Wisdom is seen in those who can discuss matters beyond the surface level. Their conversations reflect a broad understanding of life, morality, and human nature. 3. Openness to different perspectives. A wise person does not dismiss others' viewpoints outright. Instead, they engage in discussions with an open mind, willing to explore different sides of an issue before forming a judgment. 4. Ability to remain calm in debate, when faced with opposing opinions. A wise person does not resort to anger or defensiveness. Instead, they maintain composure, seeking resolution and mutual understanding rather than conflict. 5. The questions they ask. A person's wisdom is often revealed not just by what they say but by the questions they pose. Insightful questions that encourage deeper thinking and reflection show a genuine pursuit of truth and understanding. The difference between knowledge and wisdom. One common mistake in assessing character is confusing knowledge with wisdom. Knowledge refers to the accumulation of facts and information, while wisdom is the ability to apply knowledge with discernment and ethical consideration. The Buddha warned against mistaking intelligence or academic achievement for wisdom, as true wisdom is demonstrated through actions, not just words. A knowledgeable person may have vast expertise but lack the ability to apply it compassionately or ethically. A wise person understands not only what is true but also how it impacts others and how to use that knowledge for the greater good. While knowledge can be taught and memorized, wisdom must be cultivated through experience, reflection, and deep conversation. In assessing a person's character, look beyond their qualifications or how well they articulate their thoughts. Instead, observe how they use their knowledge. Do they uplift others, seek solutions, and promote harmony, or do they use it to dominate and belittle? Recognizing wisdom in action. The Buddha often spoke about wisdom in terms of action. It is not merely about having good ideas or philosophies but about embodying those principles in daily life. This means that, to judge someone's wisdom, we should observe how they behave outside of conversations as well. 1. Do they practice what they preach? Wisdom is reflected in actions that align with one's words. If a person frequently speaks about moral values but acts dishonestly, their wisdom is questionable. 2. How do they handle adversity? A wise person remains composed and thoughtful during difficult times. Instead of reacting with fear or anger, they seek understanding and solutions. 3. Are they compassionate? True wisdom is deeply connected to kindness and empathy. A wise person considers the well-being of others in their decisions and interactions. 4. Do they recognize their own limitations? Wisdom also means acknowledging what one does not know. A wise person is humble and willing to learn, rather than pretending to have all the answers. Deep conversations as a tool for understanding. If we wish to evaluate someone's wisdom, we must be willing to engage in meaningful discussions with them. Shallow or routine conversations do not reveal much about a person's true nature. Instead, deeper topics that explore ethics, values, and life experiences provide insight into their way of thinking. Ask open-ended questions that encourage reflection, such as, "What do you think is the most important lesson in life?" Or, "How do you handle situations where you disagree with someone?" Observe how they respond. Do they offer thoughtful insights? Or do they dismiss complex questions with simple or shallow answers? Notice if they dominate the conversation or allow for an exchange of ideas. Wisdom often includes the ability to listen and absorb different perspectives. The importance of being wise in judgment. While it is important to recognize wisdom in others, we must also cultivate wisdom in ourselves to make accurate judgments. The Buddha warned against making quick assumptions about people based on limited interactions. Just as wisdom in others is revealed over time, our ability to judge wisely also improves with patience and careful observation. 1. Avoid rushing to conclusions. Just because someone impresses us with their words in one conversation does not mean they are truly wise. Consistency over time is key. 2. Be aware of personal biases. Sometimes, we admire those who think like us and dismiss those who challenge us. True wisdom is about recognizing value even in differing perspectives. 3. Test their advice. If someone offers guidance, observe how well their advice aligns with reality. Wise individuals give practical, thoughtful advice rather than empty platitudes. Conclusion. Wisdom is one of the most valuable traits a person can possess. Yet it is not immediately visible. It requires engagement, conversation, and long-term observation to truly understand. Through deep discussions, careful listening, and observation of actions, we can discern the difference between superficial knowledge and true wisdom. More importantly, we must strive to cultivate our own wisdom so that we can judge others fairly and wisely. The next session will explore the final aspect of judging character: how individuals behave in moments of misfortune and difficulty, revealing their true resilience and patience. Session 4. Understanding patience and resilience in adversity. A person's true character is often revealed not during moments of ease but in times of hardship. The Buddha emphasized that the ability to endure misfortune with grace and patience is one of the strongest indicators of inner strength. Anyone can appear kind, wise, and composed when everything is going well. However, when faced with adversity, a person's genuine nature becomes evident. The test of patience in hardship. According to Buddhist teachings, patience, khanti, is one of the most essential virtues on the path to enlightenment. It is not merely about waiting but about maintaining inner peace and clarity in the face of challenges. 1. How do they react to uncertainty? Life is unpredictable, and challenges are inevitable. Some people panic, become aggressive, or place blame when faced with difficult situations, while others remain composed and seek solutions. Observing how someone responds to uncertainty reveals whether they have developed true resilience. 2. Do they express anger easily? A wise and patient person does not allow anger to control them. Instead of reacting impulsively, they take a moment to process the situation before responding. Frequent expressions of frustration or resentment can indicate a lack of patience and emotional control. 3. Can they accept setbacks? The ability to accept failure or setbacks with grace is another marker of patience. Instead of being consumed by disappointment, a resilient person sees failure as a learning experience and moves forward without becoming bitter or discouraged. 4. How do they treat others during difficult times? Many people's attitudes change when they are stressed. A person's true character can be seen in how they treat those around them when things are not going their way. Do they lash out, or do they remain respectful and considerate? 5. Do they persevere? True patience is not passive. It is the ability to keep going despite obstacles. A patient person does not give up at the first sign of difficulty. Instead, they adapt, find new approaches, and maintain their commitment to their goals, recognizing inner strength through challenges. In Buddhist philosophy, suffering, dukkha, is an inescapable part of life. What differentiates people is how they handle that suffering. The Buddha taught that a person who has developed patience does not see hardship as an enemy but as an opportunity for growth. Observing how someone faces challenges can provide profound insight into their character. Do they seek wisdom in difficulties? Instead of dwelling on problems, wise individuals look for lessons within their struggles. Do they practice mindfulness? A patient person does not react with haste. They take time to understand the nature of their suffering before responding. Are they compassionate towards themselves and others? Even in hardship, a truly strong person does not lose their sense of empathy. How to observe patience in others. If you wish to understand how patient and resilient a person is, observe their reactions in daily life. While extreme misfortunes may not happen frequently, small moments can reveal a lot about a person's temperament. Traffic or waiting in line. Do they become irritated or anxious when forced to wait? Or do they remain calm? Workplace pressure. How do they handle stressful deadlines or conflicts with colleagues? Unmet expectations. When things don't go according to plan, do they react negatively or adjust with grace? Interpersonal conflicts. Are they quick to anger? Or do they try to understand and resolve the issue with maturity? The importance of developing patience. While it is important to recognize patience in others, it is equally important to cultivate it within ourselves. The Buddha taught that patience is a fundamental quality for attaining inner peace and wisdom. 1. Practicing mindfulness. Being present in each moment helps prevent impulsive reactions and fosters a sense of calm. 2. Accepting change. Understanding that nothing is permanent allows us to handle setbacks with greater ease. 3. Cultivating compassion. Recognizing that everyone faces struggles helps us respond with kindness rather than frustration. 4. Breathing exercises. In moments of stress, taking deep breaths can help regulate emotions and prevent hasty reactions. 5. Learning from challenges. Instead of resenting difficulties, see them as opportunities to strengthen patience and resilience. Conclusion. The true measure of a person's character is not how they behave in times of comfort, but how they respond to hardship. Patience and resilience are key indicators of inner strength, revealing a person's ability to endure difficulties without being consumed by negativity. By observing how someone reacts to adversity, whether through small daily inconveniences or significant life challenges, we gain a clearer understanding of their true nature. The next session will explore how compassion and kindness further define a person's character and why these qualities are essential in determining whether someone is genuinely good-hearted and trustworthy. Session 5. Understanding compassion and kindness in character evaluation. While patience and resilience reveal a person's inner strength, compassion and kindness showcase their ability to connect with others in a meaningful way. According to Buddhist teachings, true wisdom is incomplete without compassion. The Buddha emphasized that those who cultivate kindness not only uplift others but also attain deeper inner peace themselves. The role of compassion in judging character. Compassion, karuna, is the ability to empathize with the suffering of others and take action to alleviate it. In contrast to mere politeness or surface-level kindness, genuine compassion is selfless and unconditional. When assessing someone's character, observing how they treat others, especially those who cannot offer them anything in return, provides invaluable insight. 1. Do they show empathy? A compassionate person does not dismiss the pain of others but instead offers support and understanding. They acknowledge the struggles of those around them and extend kindness where possible. 2. Are they kind to those in lower positions? One of the best ways to judge a person's character is to observe how they treat waitstaff, cleaners, or anyone in a position of service. Genuine kindness is not reserved for those of equal or higher status. 3. Do they offer help without expecting recognition? A truly kind person helps because they feel it is the right thing to do, not for praise or social status. 4. How do they react to others' success? Compassionate individuals celebrate the achievements of others rather than feeling envious or competitive. Their support is sincere, not conditional. 5. Can they forgive? While forgiveness does not mean allowing oneself to be mistreated, a compassionate person does not hold on to grudges unnecessarily. They understand the imperfections of human nature and choose understanding over resentment. Acts of kindness as a reflection of true nature. The Buddha taught that kindness is not merely a trait but a practice, something that must be cultivated daily. A person's ability to consistently display acts of kindness, even in stressful or challenging situations, is a strong indicator of their true character. Do they go out of their way to help others? A person who is genuinely kind will offer help even when it is inconvenient for them. Are they kind in private? Some individuals perform kindness only when an audience is watching. True kindness is consistent, regardless of whether anyone else is present. Do they listen without judgment? One of the greatest acts of compassion is the ability to listen and support others without criticism or unsolicited advice. Observing compassion in everyday situations. If we want to assess a person's level of compassion, we should pay attention to their actions in everyday life. These moments often reveal more about a person's nature than grand gestures. How do they treat animals? A person who is unnecessarily cruel or indifferent to animals may lack empathy in other areas of life. Do they respect personal boundaries? Compassionate individuals recognize the emotional and physical boundaries of others and do not pressure or manipulate people. Are they patient with those who struggle? Some people grow frustrated when others take longer to understand or accomplish something. A compassionate individual is patient and encouraging instead of dismissive. Compassion is a sign of true strength. In many cultures, kindness is sometimes mistaken for weakness. However, Buddhist teachings emphasize that true strength lies in one's ability to remain kind despite challenges. Choosing to be compassionate in the face of cruelty or indifference requires immense inner power. A strong person does not need to belittle others to feel superior. They do not use kindness as a manipulation tool but as a genuine expression of care. Their compassion is not selective. They do not base their kindness on who is watching. The importance of developing compassion. While evaluating compassion in others is valuable, it is even more important to cultivate it within ourselves. The Buddha taught that when we foster kindness, we not only improve our relationships but also free ourselves from hatred and resentment. 1. Practice loving kindness meditation, metta bhavana. This Buddhist meditation helps individuals develop unconditional goodwill towards themselves and others. 2. Engage in small acts of kindness daily, whether holding a door open or offering words of encouragement. Small gestures build a habit of compassion. 3. Learn to let go of resentment. Holding on to anger prevents personal growth. Choosing forgiveness benefits not just others but also oneself. 4. Surround yourself with kind people. The company we keep influences our behaviors. Being around compassionate individuals helps reinforce these values in ourselves. 5. Extend kindness to yourself. Many people struggle with self-compassion. Treating oneself with the same patience and care as others is crucial for a balanced and happy life. Conclusion. Compassion and kindness are fundamental aspects of character that cannot be faked over time. A person's consistent ability to show empathy, help without expectation, and remain kind even in difficult situations is a strong indication of their true nature. While it is important to recognize kindness in others, it is equally essential to cultivate it within ourselves. The next session will explore the final key to understanding character, how humility and honesty define a truly trustworthy individual. Session 6. Humility and honesty, the final keys to understanding character. Compassion and patience reveal a person's inner kindness, but true wisdom cannot exist without humility and honesty. In Buddhist teachings, humility is the ability to recognize one's limitations, and honesty is the foundation of trust and integrity. A person who embodies these qualities is not only reliable but also capable of genuine self-growth. The role of humility in judging character. Humility, madhava, is one of the 10 perfections, paramitas, in Buddhism. It reflects a person's ability to remain grounded, no matter how much success or recognition they achieve. Do they acknowledge their mistakes? A humble person is not afraid to admit when they are wrong. Instead of making excuses, they take responsibility and seek to improve. Are they open to learning? Those who are truly wise never assume they know everything. They remain open to new ideas and perspectives, even from those less experienced than them. How do they treat those with less power? A person's humility is often most visible in how they treat individuals who cannot offer them anything in return. Do they act superior? Or do they engage with genuine respect? Do they accept constructive criticism? No one is perfect, but a person with humility understands that feedback is an opportunity for growth rather than an attack on their ego. Do they speak more about themselves or others? While self-confidence is valuable, constantly dominating conversations or boasting about achievements can indicate a lack of humility. Honesty is the cornerstone of trust. Honesty, sakka, is another essential Buddhist virtue. It is not only about telling the truth but also about living in alignment with one's values. Without honesty, Relationships, whether personal, professional, or spiritual, become fragile and unreliable. Do they keep their promises? Trustworthy individuals do not make empty promises. They follow through on their commitments, regardless of whether it is convenient. Are they transparent about their intentions? Honest people do not manipulate others for personal gain. They express their thoughts and feelings with clarity and sincerity. How do they handle difficult conversations? Telling the truth is not always easy. A person with integrity does not avoid hard conversations or resort to deception to maintain an image. Do they admit when they don't know something? Instead of pretending to have all the answers, honest individuals acknowledge when they lack knowledge and seek the truth. Are they the same person in public and private? True honesty is about consistency. A person who behaves differently depending on who is watching is not truly authentic. Signs of authentic humility and honesty in everyday life. A person's humility and honesty become clear through their actions in daily life. Small interactions and subtle behaviors can reveal whether someone genuinely embodies these virtues or merely performs them for social acceptance. At work, do they give credit to their team? Or do they claim success for themselves? Do they admit when they make mistakes? Or do they shift blame? With friends and family, are they consistent in their words and actions? Or do they say one thing and do another? In social situations, do they engage with everyone respectfully? Or do they act differently around those they deem less important? When no one is watching, do they uphold their values even when there is no external reward for doing so? The strength in humility and honesty. Many people mistake humility for weakness. But in Buddhist teachings, it is a sign of inner strength. Likewise, honesty requires courage, as telling the truth is not always easy. Those who possess these qualities do not seek validation from others. Their confidence comes from within. Humble individuals do not need to prove their worth. They let their actions speak for themselves. Honest people build trust effortlessly, as they are known for their consistency and integrity. A person who is both humble and honest does not fear judgment because they are secure in who they are. How to cultivate humility and honesty in ourselves. Recognizing these qualities in others is important, but developing them in ourselves is equally crucial. The Buddha taught that wisdom begins with self-awareness and that the path to true understanding requires self-reflection. Practice gratitude. Recognizing that our success is often the result of both effort and external support helps keep us humble. Be open to learning. Adopt a mindset of continuous growth. No matter how much we know, there is always more to discover. Acknowledge and correct mistakes, instead of avoiding responsibility. Take mistakes as opportunities to improve. Speak truthfully. Strive to be honest in all conversations, even when the truth is uncomfortable. Align actions with values. Live in accordance with your principles, regardless of whether anyone is watching. Conclusion. A person's humility and honesty are the final keys to understanding their true character. While kindness, patience, and resilience reveal aspects of their inner nature, their ability to remain humble and truthful under all circumstances determines whether they are truly trustworthy. Observing how a person treats others, handles criticism, and upholds their values provides profound insight into their integrity. In the next and final session, we will explore how to apply these lessons in daily life to build meaningful relationships and foster a deeper connection with those around us. Session 7. Applying character evaluation in daily life. Understanding the core aspects of character, patience, resilience, compassion, humility, and honesty helps us build meaningful relationships. However, this wisdom is only useful if applied practically in our daily interactions. In this session, we explore how to assess character in real-life situations and how to use this understanding to foster deeper connections while protecting ourselves from harm. Recognizing character through consistent actions. People reveal their true nature over time. While words can be deceiving, actions consistently reflect a person's values. The Buddha emphasized that we should observe someone's behavior over a long period before making judgments. 1. Observing patterns instead of isolated incidents. A single act of kindness does not necessarily mean a person is kind. Similarly, a single mistake does not define someone as unreliable. Look for repeated behaviors. Do they show integrity consistently? Or only when convenient? Are they kind when under stress? Or do they become selfish when things do not go their way? 2. How do they handle conflict? Do they seek resolution with patience and wisdom? Or do they react with anger and defensiveness? Are they willing to listen? Or do they always have to be right? How do they treat others in moments of disagreement? 3. How do they treat people who cannot benefit them? Someone's true nature is often seen in their treatment of service workers, subordinates, and strangers. Are they polite and respectful? Or do they look down on those with less power? Do they help others without expecting recognition or rewards? Building meaningful relationships based on character. Once we learn how to recognize true character, we can build deeper, more meaningful connections with those who share our values. The Buddha taught that choosing the right people to associate with is crucial for personal growth. 1. Surrounding yourself with virtuous people. Seek friends, colleagues, and partners who exhibit patience, kindness, and integrity. The right company influences your mindset and behavior. Negative influences can lead to unwholesome actions and stress. 2. Setting boundaries with untrustworthy individuals. Not everyone will align with your values, and that is okay. However, it is important to protect your energy and well-being. If someone repeatedly shows dishonesty or cruelty, consider distancing yourself. Setting boundaries does not mean being unkind. It means choosing where to invest your time and emotions. 3. Practicing compassion without enabling toxicity. The Buddha emphasized compassion but also taught the importance of wisdom. Helping someone in need is noble, but enabling harmful behaviors is not. Recognizing when to step back from unhealthy relationships is a form of self-care. Applying character evaluation in professional and social settings. Our ability to judge character affects not just personal relationships but also our professional and social lives. Understanding people's true nature helps us make better decisions in business, leadership, and community engagement. 1. Choosing business partners and colleagues. Trust is essential in professional relationships. Someone who lacks integrity will likely betray agreements when convenient. Observe how a potential business partner treats their employees, fulfills promises, and reacts under pressure. 2. Leadership and decision-making. A good leader leads with wisdom, patience, and fairness. If a person seeks leadership for personal gain rather than for the well-being of others, they may not be a suitable leader. Ethical leadership inspires trust and loyalty, while dishonesty leads to instability. 3. Community and social contributions. Those who actively give back to society often have a deep sense of empathy and responsibility. Are they generous with their time and resources? Or do they only contribute when it benefits their reputation? True generosity comes from the heart, not from the desire for recognition. Personal reflection. Developing our own character. While it is important to assess the character of those around us, it is equally essential to work on ourselves. The Buddha's teachings remind us that self-improvement is a lifelong journey. 1. Practicing what we preach. If we seek kindness in others, we must practice kindness ourselves. If we value honesty, we must be truthful in our own words and actions. 2. Daily self-reflection. At the end of each day, ask yourself, did I act with patience and compassion today? Was I honest in my interactions? How did I handle moments of stress and conflict? 3. Meditation and mindfulness. The Buddha taught that regular meditation strengthens self-awareness. Practicing mindfulness helps us control our emotions, improve patience, and cultivate wisdom. Conclusion. Judging character wisely allows us to build meaningful relationships, avoid deception, and foster a more harmonious life. By observing consistent actions, recognizing true compassion, and practicing self-reflection, we create a foundation for trust and mutual respect. In the final session, we will explore how to integrate these lessons fully into our daily lives, ensuring that we not only recognize good character in others but also cultivate it within ourselves. Session 8. Integrating character evaluation into daily life. Understanding and evaluating character is not just about assessing others, it is also about improving ourselves. The Buddha emphasized that wisdom comes not only from observing others but also from continuous self-examination. In this final session, we will explore practical ways to integrate these lessons into everyday life to foster healthier relationships and personal growth. Recognizing character as a lifelong practice. Character evaluation is not a one-time event but an ongoing process. People evolve, circumstances change, and new situations reveal different aspects of a person's nature. By cultivating mindfulness and patience, we can navigate relationships with greater awareness. 1. Observing without immediate judgment. Avoid making snap judgments about people based on first impressions. Give relationships time to develop and allow character to reveal itself naturally. Understand that everyone has strengths and weaknesses, including ourselves. 2. Balancing skepticism and trust. Being overly trusting can lead to disappointment, but extreme skepticism can close us off from meaningful connections. Develop a healthy balance by trusting but verifying. Observe actions, not just words. Let people earn trust over time rather than assuming it from the beginning. Applying these lessons in different areas of life. The wisdom gained from evaluating character can be applied in various aspects of our lives, including friendships, work relationships, and romantic partnerships. 1. Friendships and social circles. Surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you. Recognize when a friendship is one-sided or toxic and set boundaries accordingly. Be the type of friend you wish to have: kind, honest, and reliable. 2. Workplace and professional interactions. Choose business partners and colleagues based on integrity rather than just skills. Pay attention to how leaders treat their employees and how coworkers handle pressure. Foster an environment of honesty and respect by leading with ethical behavior. 3. Romantic relationships. Observe how a potential partner treats family, friends, and strangers. Look for consistency between their words and actions over time. Communicate openly and honestly about values and expectations. The role of self-reflection in personal growth. While assessing others is important, true wisdom begins with self-awareness. The Buddha taught that self-examination is a crucial part of the path to enlightenment. 1. Asking ourselves the right questions. Do I exhibit the qualities I seek in others? How do I react in moments of stress or conflict? Am I practicing kindness, patience, and honesty in my daily interactions? 2. Learning from past experiences. Reflect on past relationships. What patterns have emerged? Consider how personal biases or emotions may have influenced past judgments. Use past mistakes as lessons for future growth. 3. Practicing mindfulness and meditation. Daily mindfulness practices help us stay present and observe behaviors with clarity. Meditation can cultivate patience and compassion, reducing emotional reactivity. Journaling or reflecting on daily interactions can reveal insights into our own character development. Strengthening communities through character awareness. When individuals focus on developing strong character, it positively impacts families, workplaces, and communities as a whole. 1. Being a role model for others. Led by example. Demonstrate integrity and kindness in all areas of life. Encourage open and honest communication within your social and professional circles. Inspire others by consistently living according to your values. 2. Creating supportive environments. Encourage discussions about character and ethics within families and teams. Foster an atmosphere where people feel safe being honest and vulnerable. Offer guidance to those struggling with character development rather than passing judgment. Final reflections and takeaways. Evaluating character is not about labeling people as good or bad but about understanding human nature with wisdom and compassion. Patience, kindness, humility, and honesty are the pillars of strong character. Actions speak louder than words. Observe behaviors over time rather than relying on appearances. Self-reflection is just as important as assessing others. Continuous growth leads to deeper wisdom. Building relationships with people of integrity leads to a more fulfilling and harmonious life. Conclusion. The Buddha's teachings remind us that true understanding requires both discernment and compassion. By applying these principles in our daily lives, we cultivate stronger relationships, make wiser decisions, and contribute to a world built on trust and integrity. May we all strive to develop our own character while fostering meaningful connections with those around us. Session 9. The Path to Lasting Wisdom Through Character Evaluation. Having explored the importance of assessing character in personal and professional relationships, we now turn our attention to how these insights shape our wisdom and long-term fulfillment. The Buddha emphasized that true wisdom arises from both understanding others and cultivating inner integrity. In this session, we will examine the transformative power of character evaluation in achieving a balanced, enlightened life. The link between character and wisdom. Wisdom is not merely intellectual knowledge, it is the ability to navigate life with discernment, compassion, and emotional intelligence. The process of evaluating character sharpens our judgment and refines our interactions with others. 1. Learning through experience. Every encounter with people provides an opportunity to grow and refine our understanding. Mistakes in judgment are inevitable, but each one offers valuable lessons for the future. Observing others helps us recognize the impact of virtues like patience and honesty in real-world situations. 2. Applying discernment without cynicism. Skepticism protects us from deception, but excessive mistrust isolates us. The middle path is key. Acknowledge red flags while remaining open to genuine relationships. Understanding people's true nature fosters stronger, more fulfilling connections, strengthening inner integrity through character awareness. While much of character evaluation focuses on others, self-examination is equally crucial. The Buddha taught that integrity is built on consistent moral actions, shaping both our destiny and our relationships. 1. Living by ethical principles. Aligning our actions with moral values brings long-term peace and fulfillment. When our behavior reflects honesty, kindness, and patience, we naturally attract like-minded individuals. Self-discipline in upholding integrity strengthens our personal credibility and trustworthiness. 2. Practicing mindful self-observation. Regular self-reflection helps identify areas where our actions may not align with our principles. A mindful approach to life prevents impulsive reactions and promotes thoughtful decision-making. Assessing our own character ensures that we remain accountable for our growth and development. The ripple effect. How character awareness transforms society. When individuals prioritize strong character, it contributes to the greater well-being of families, workplaces, and communities. The Buddha taught that ethical living extends beyond personal benefit, it nurtures societal harmony. 1. Fostering a culture of integrity. Ethical behavior in leadership fosters workplace environments where trust and cooperation thrive. Communities rooted in respect and compassion create safer, more supportive societies. Parents and educators who model character awareness instill moral values in future generations. 2. Encouraging accountability and growth. Holding ourselves and others accountable for actions fosters fairness and justice. Encouraging character development rather than punitive judgment helps others evolve. Providing constructive feedback with compassion allows for growth without resentment. The role of meditation and mindfulness in character development. The Buddha emphasized mindfulness and meditation as tools for deepening wisdom and refining character. These practices cultivate inner awareness and help us respond to life's challenges with greater clarity. 1. Cultivating emotional intelligence. Mindfulness helps us recognize emotional triggers and respond rather than react. By observing our thoughts and actions, we become more aware of our patterns of behavior. This self-awareness enables us to align our responses with patience and wisdom. 2. Reducing ego-driven judgments. Judgment rooted in ego often leads to misinterpretation and conflict. Meditation fosters humility, allowing us to assess people with greater objectivity and compassion. Releasing attachment to being right opens the door for deeper understanding and growth. Integrating character awareness into everyday life. True wisdom is demonstrated not in theory but in daily practice. The final step in mastering character evaluation is integrating these lessons into everyday choices, relationships, and ethical decisions. 1. Practicing ethical decision-making. Before making a choice, consider whether it aligns with your values and long-term well-being. Observe how ethical decisions create lasting benefits, even when difficult in the short term. Lead with integrity in all areas of life, from business dealings to personal commitments. 2. Using character awareness to strengthen relationships. Engage in deeper conversations to understand people beyond surface impressions. Set healthy boundaries with individuals who consistently demonstrate dishonesty or harmful behavior. Offer second chances to those who show genuine growth but maintain discernment to avoid repeated harm. Conclusion. The ability to evaluate character is not just a tool for avoiding deception, it is a path to wisdom, emotional intelligence, and a fulfilling life. By applying these lessons with mindfulness, patience, and compassion, we cultivate stronger relationships, led with integrity, and contribute to a more ethical world. In the next and final session, we will reflect on the long-term impact of character awareness and how it shapes the journey toward personal enlightenment and inner peace. Session 10. The journey to personal enlightenment through character awareness. As we reach the final session, it is essential to reflect on how character evaluation not only influences our external relationships but also leads us toward deeper self-awareness and personal enlightenment. The Buddha taught that wisdom is a continuous process, cultivated through ethical living, self-examination, and compassionate interactions. This session will focus on how these principles shape a fulfilling and purpose-driven life. The long-term impact of character awareness. Evaluating character is not just about protecting ourselves from deception or disappointment, it is about developing wisdom, strengthening relationships, and fostering inner peace. When we apply these principles consistently, they become part of our moral compass, guiding our actions and decisions with integrity. 1. Developing a clear sense of self. Through character evaluation, we refine our understanding of who we are and what we stand for. Recognizing the values we admire in others helps us define our own moral framework. Aligning our behavior with these values leads to greater self-respect and confidence. 2. Gaining emotional and mental clarity. By mindfully assessing people's actions and motives, we cultivate emotional intelligence. Reduced impulsivity and greater patience lead to better decision-making. Clarity in judgment prevents unnecessary conflicts and misunderstandings. The role of compassion in judging character. The Buddha emphasized that while discernment is necessary, it should always be balanced with compassion. We must not use our ability to evaluate character as a tool for superiority or harsh judgment, but rather as a way to deepen our understanding of human nature. 1. Recognizing the complexity of human behavior. People are shaped by experiences, trauma, and circumstances beyond our immediate knowledge. A person's mistakes do not always define their entire character. Growth and redemption are possible. Practicing forgiveness allows us to move forward without holding on to negativity. 2. Avoiding the trap of self-righteousness. Being skilled at evaluating character does not make us infallible. We, 2. Have blind spots. Humility allows us to remain open to new insights and avoid arrogance in judgment. Acknowledging our own flaws fosters empathy for others and strengthens our personal growth. Achieving inner peace through character awareness. When we understand people and their motivations, we navigate life with greater ease and less emotional turmoil. The ability to recognize trustworthy individuals, set healthy boundaries, and approach relationships with wisdom leads to a peaceful and fulfilling life. 1. Letting go of negative attachments. By accurately assessing character, we reduce unnecessary emotional suffering from toxic relationships. Releasing resentment and anger frees up mental energy for more meaningful connections. Accepting that not everyone aligns with our values allows us to move forward without regret. 2. Strengthening meaningful connections. Investing in relationships based on trust, respect, and shared values enhances emotional well-being. Nurturing deep and honest friendships leads to a sense of belonging and support. Meaningful connections reinforce our sense of purpose and fulfillment in life. Cultivating wisdom is a lifelong practice. The journey of character awareness is ongoing. Each experience offers new lessons, and true wisdom is developed through continuous learning and self-reflection. 1. Embracing lifelong growth. Personal growth is never static. There is always room for deeper understanding. Learning from mistakes and adapting to new insights fosters long-term wisdom. Remaining open-minded prevents stagnation and strengthens resilience. 2. Contributing to a more ethical world. Living by ethical principles inspires others to do the same. Being a role model of integrity positively influences family, friends, and colleagues. Encouraging honesty, compassion, and accountability in communities leads to societal harmony. Conclusion. The ultimate reward of character awareness. The ability to evaluate character with wisdom and compassion leads to a fulfilling life of integrity and peace. The Buddha's teachings remind us that true enlightenment comes not from judgment, but from understanding, patience, and kindness. Wisdom is a lifelong pursuit. Continue refining your ability to assess character with awareness. Self-reflection is essential. Apply these insights not just to others but to your own growth. Compassion must accompany discernment. Understanding human nature fosters deeper connections. Boundaries protect our well-being. Surround yourself with individuals who align with your values. By integrating these principles into daily life, we walk the path of enlightenment with clarity and confidence. The ultimate reward is not just in understanding others, but in achieving true inner peace and wisdom. May we all continue this journey with patience, self-awareness, and an open heart. Thank you for being here. Every Buddha story is a path to wisdom, every teaching a light to guide the soul. If today's message touched your heart, don't let it fade. Like to spread wisdom, share to awaken others, comment your thoughts, and subscribe with the bell to continue this journey together. May Buddha's teachings bring you peace and clarity. English Buddhism, stories that enlighten the soul.